on episode 2,945,000.
I've lost count.
I've lost count too, but I'm having lots of fun. Are you having lots of fun over there, Colleen?
I am. I like sitting in my living room with you on a Sunday and just chatting about travel, chatting about what's going on in the world.
It's kind of like Sunday sofa time, except we're not on a sofa.
Exactly. We're in individual chairs.
And I think that's another YouTuber's
It is.
jam.
Yeah.
we want to make friends here, not frenemies. Anyways, got a exciting lineup today. Again, my name is Nate, and this is
I'm Colleen.
Colleen.
Nice to meet you. I don't know which camera to be looking at.
The one right near you.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. We are Navigate with Us, if you weren't sure what you were tuning into.
Yes. Navigate with Us, the Navigate with Colleen and Nate podcast. So today on the show, we've got a big announcement. How big is this announcement?
I'd say it's pretty darn huge.
And this is huge.
I didn't know if it was going to come true. I didn't know if it was actually going to happen, but we're here.
We thought this was going to be months ago, and we're just finding out. So more to come on that. Also, some news stories. We will be talking about Allure of the Seas. Also, one of our favorite ships, one of our favorite cruises.
I was going to say, I think hands down, probably one of my favorites. It's a good ship. Good overall. Folks that work on that ship. I think the food, everything was fantastic. Anyways, we'll talk more about Allure later.
Yes, very, very fantastic stuff. Also, a big hotel chain in some hot water with the Department of Justice.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, you stole my thunder.
Tell we were married a while.
Oh my gosh. So, but yeah, so basically some that, and then controversy in the air. It's like we needed more drama in the air.
Is there more lizard people, Nate?
Oh, no. The lizard people. No, this is not lizard people, but lizard people might be upset about this as well, too. So you'll have to stay tuned to the end to hear about what is now upsetting. I'm kidding. It's not about lizard people.
But yes, stay tuned. We got lots on the program for today, and excited, and definitely jump in, share your comments, let us know what you think about some of these topics, because I think they'll be very interesting.
Yeah. But before we get going, today's show is brought to you by us. So if you didn't know, we own a Cruise Planners franchise. And if you're looking to book your next cruise or tour or land vacation, we would really appreciate it if you reach out to us. It's cruiseplannersofsouthflorida.com, cruiseplannersofsouthflorida.com. And when you book a cruise with us, it goes to support this channel. So rather than doing a Patreon and begging, saying, just give us $5 a month and we'll give you something extra, we actually want to work for your money. So head on over to our website. We are running some really great deals right now. So one of those that's going on right now is $100 of extra sailor loot on board one of our favorite cruise lines, Virgin Voyages. Colleen, what would you do with a extra $100 of sailor loot?
Ooh, I think I'm going to shake my phone for a little bottle of champagne.
You're going to shake the champagne? Shake for the champagne?
Yeah.
The other thing that we have going on as well, too, if you are a Florida resident, we actually have some Florida resident rates that we can hook you up with. And some of them are up to 15% off voyages.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That is fantastic. And you know what? Like right now, good time to get a little cruise in before you get back into the school year, holidays.
Anytime is a good time to get a cruise in.
That is true. There's no bad time.
Yeah. So reach out to us, cruiseplannersofsouthflorida.com. That is cruiseplannersofsouthflorida.com. Never costs you extra. You get to tap into our experience that you've seen here on this channel. We make it a great experience to work with us, and we have hope to help you have a great experience on vacation so you can create those dream memories. But with that, on to item number one. So Colleen, what would you like to tell the world the big announcement?
Oh, goodness. I feel like I need a drum roll or something. Oh, okay. Thanks, Nate.
That's like all I could do. It sounds more like a plane taking off.
Like a little prop plane. Okay. So, as you may or may not have remembered, we were actually on the inaugural sailing of Royal Caribbean's latest, biggest, brand newest ship as of January, called Icon of the Seas. I'm sure you haven't heard of it. You know,
What
there's
is
been
Icon of the Seas? Is that what is that? Like a ferry?
it is a mega, mega, mega ship.
Yes.
So a new class for Royal Caribbean, and there was a lot of excitement around that.
Just a little bit.
So we went on the inaugural sailing, and it was fantastic. And Nate, why don't you share a little bit about what happened?
Well, so while we were on the inaugural sailing, somebody had been stalking us ahead of the inaugural sailing.
In a good way.
In a good way. In a good way.
In a
so,
good way, for
so
sure.
there was a film crew on board Icon of the Seas, and we got on the ship, and we'd been on the ship for like an hour or so, and we had gone up to our room, shot like our cabin tour, then headed back down to kind of check out like all the insanity going on. And we were sitting near the entrance when all of a sudden this person came up to us, this young lady, and she goes, "Are you Nate and Colleen?"
That is a very bizarre feeling
It
when
is.
you're recognized on a ship. I mean, it's happened. We definitely have had viewers reach out and come over and say hello, and we love it. But this, behind her was a crew with the cameras
Yeah.
and microphones, and we're like, okay, where's this going?
Yeah, at first I just thought they were like a news crew that was going to get on that was just on the ship for the day, kind of doing some shooting. But turns out they were doing a documentary, and we've had to keep this pretty much under wraps. There's been hints in some of our videos that something was going on, but we couldn't quite talk about it fully. We were asked not to. We didn't have to sign anything. We weren't to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but we were asked as a professional courtesy, as one camera crew to another camera, one filmmaker to another filmmaker. Would you consider yourself a professional filmmaker, Colleen?
God, far from it. Far from it. That's why one of the things I enjoyed about working with this crew. There's lots of like tips and tricks we learned. But anyways,
Tips and tricks. That's
It's
another channel.
sidetracked.
That's another channel.
Oh, jeez.
We're gonna get in all sorts of trouble. But
Yeah.
anyways, so let me just read it here. So this is a press release. Channel 4, and this Channel 4 is in the UK, gains exclusive documentary access to maiden voyage of Icon of the Seas, the world's biggest cruise ship, from Afanti Media. So Afanti Media was the company doing the documentary, and they were on the ship, and they filmed us for not just us, several different types of people. Do you want to expand on that a little bit, Colleen?
Sure, yeah. So they had, so there was us. They had a very loyal to royal couple that I think had quite a high status level. Followed them around. Followed younger 20-something or other gentlemen.
Sorry about that. Wrong,
Nate's already shutting me off.
wrong button.
So a couple of gentlemen, young gentlemen, and then a family. So this crew
And
followed
the crew.
us. Yeah, and the crew, right,
Yes.
leading up to us actually getting on the ship. So they followed us around for the entire week.
Yes. And so obviously the angle was, obviously Colleen is in a wheelchair. So it was about showing accessibility and what it's like to get around on a cruise ship. And again, also the fact that we're vloggers was just added to the story as well too. So pretty excited, and we got final confirmation this week. So is going to be debuting. So if you're in the UK, the 18th of August at 8 p.m. UK time. Oh, what do they refer to UK time as? I feel like is it just UK time?
I'm just gonna go with UK time.
UK time. All right. So UK time. But it is going to go out for wider distribution. So another company called Bossa Nova Media has picked up the rights internationally, and they're shopping it around at the cons.
I know. That's like fancy, Nate. Like the cons, like, is that the film festival?
It's probably like the cons like trade show. it's not the arts festival. It's just like they, have a trade show, and they probably just sell stuff there.
Oh, that's like a wah-wah. Well,
Wah-wah.
either way, very exciting. Yes, I think there's Australia's in the potential.
Australia's a go. That's what it says. So if you're in Australia, so if you're in the UK, you only get the 1 hour version. If you're in the international, you get a 2 hour or a 2-parter.
Just more of Nate and Colleen. I'm very curious.
We're probably in it for 5 minutes.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be really short, but But yeah, and then obviously potentially US down the road. And then I think there was some other European countries that were
Yeah, it was like
interested.
Belgium and the Norway because
Germany.
that's where the ship was built.
Right. No.
Germany, so
Tie it all in.
everywhere.
I know. So we'll have to do another little episode when we get confirmation that it makes its way to the US for some of our other viewers. But if you're in the UK, tune in.
Yeah, and we're going to we're ourselves going to be able to get a preview copy. We're not going to be able to distribute that, obviously. And if it's horrible, we'll never talk about it again. This was the last time that you ever hear us talk about this documentary. But they said we were brilliant.
I don't know. Were they just like trying to make us feel pretty good?
I don't know. Yeah, you were brilliant. Brilliant. We made you look really bad, and it was brilliant. All right. So moving on. So again, that's Channel 4 on the 18th at 8 p.m. UK time. And if you're in the UK, leave us a comment down below and watch the episode and tell us what you thought.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to fly on over here to Miami, we'll help you. We'll hook you up, get you on Icon of the Seas. It's a gorgeous ship.
This is good. It's a fun ship.
It is fun for sure.
It's not the fun ship. That's a different brand,
Yeah,
but it's.
Jeez. We're doing bad today.
Yeah, we're getting in
Nate.
trouble with everyone.
I know.
It's Stir the Pot Sunday.
It's using all the taglines. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Cruising. Why not? Just throw it in there. How much more trouble? All right. So let's talk about Allure of the Seas.
Like I said, I think probably one of my favorite. And it's one of those cruise ships that's a little bit older. It's been around. It's one of the first Oasis class ships. Good size. But there was just something magical about it. And I can't quite put my fingertips on it, but one of my favorite cruises, I think, so far.
Yeah, I think that one thing was it was still kind of a low capacity cruise. It was a little bit after the pause.
The pause.
Yeah.
That might have been it.
But also it was one of the few non-amplified ships. So what Royal Caribbean has been doing with their older ships is they amplify them.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's keep going with the sound effects today.
Yeah. And this one had been slated for an amplification before everything shut down. And it didn't happen. So finally that is happening. And it will be next year. I think the final sailing is a transatlantic over to Barcelona right at the beginning of February. But we'll be going over to Barcelona to get $100 million in amplification dry dock. So here's some of the things that are changing. And I think Colleen and I today are going to go through and talk about the things that we like and the things that we wish that they wouldn't do. And then, again, leave us a comment down below. Do you like this amplification? Do you like some of it? Do you hate all of it? Let us know. So let's start off with the pesky parrot.
What is that?
That's a tiki bar. So that's the tiki bar that's on the new Utopia.
Oh, so like the lime and coconut, but it's
No.
Oh, okay.
It's an inside bar. It's called the Pesky Parrot.
I've never heard of it. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
So the Pesky Parrot is going to be replacing the so it's like a tiki bar theme.
okay.
All right.
But indoors.
Yes, indoors.
Okay, I'm not sure I'm following that part, but okay, keep
Yeah.
going.
So that's going to be replacing the champagne bar.
Okay, which is also on other ships. The champagne bar is where the robot bar,
The bionic
was.
bar is.
Bionic bar.
Yeah. So for me, this is a win because the bionic bar is it's like a gimmick.
It's kitschy for sure.
It's kitschy. It's like a one and done.
Yeah.
And two, the champagne bar, I don't think we ever went in. It didn't look like anybody was ever in there.
It was actually a nice quiet spot to sit. If you do recall, we actually went in just to try to get away, I think at times from like the crowds, and it wasn't very popular.
No, it wasn't very popular at all. So for me, I think this is a win because it's going to be, now it's a much more themed bar, different spaces. I mean, they kind of have it shown here with like nice couches and stuff and just a different kind of tropical vibe. Your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm up in the air. I like the champagne bar. I did.
You never went to the champagne bar though.
I went once or twice.
That's not true.
The bionic bar.
Did we're just going to, Colleen likes to tell these little fibs on the podcast here.
I do not. It is not a porky. You stop it. Anyways,
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
I'd be
I'm joking,
curious what the
guys.
tiki bar looks like. I just don't get a tiki bar indoors. I just don't feel it. But we'll see. I'm not going to poo-poo it yet.
All right.
We'll wait and see what it looks like.
So this next one here, I think this is going to get you upset.
Oh boy.
It's going to get you upset. It's going to get you angry.
Oh. All right.
So they're going to put a Playmakers in, which I like Playmakers.
I do too, yeah.
But Sabor's going.
Oh, if you all knew, like Sabor was fantastic. Again, like in the outside area, like where you would normally see the playmakers. And I think it was like one of the only ships that had Sabor.
It was the only ship.
And the Mexican food was fantastic. It had a great vibe because you were kind of outdoors for the most part. And it was just like entertainment wise, perfect. Like nice casual eating. I like playmakers, but God, you can get like wings anywhere after a while.
There are good wings there. But I agree. I do like Playmakers. I wish they could have both. Why can't we have both?
I know. Ooh, that's a good point. It could be like by day, it's maybe Playmakers. You can go get your wings and your casual food. And then by night, it's Sabor.
Yep. All right. So this one's interesting. I actually like this idea, but I just don't know where they're putting it. And this article doesn't tell us where they're putting it. But the mason jar is going to be coming to Allure of the Seas.
Okay. All right. I mean, I know that's on the Wonder of the Seas.
Utopia of the Sea.
Utopia has it.
That's it.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That is it. I heard great things. I mean, I, as we all know, do not like to get out for breakfast. So if there's an opportunity for me to go have brunch at a little bit later in the afternoon, I'm all for that. And that is what Mason Jar offers.
Yeah, I'm pro brunch. I think the fact that you should be I personally think every cruise ship on the planet should have some type of breakfast until at least noontime.
Oh, at least noon. I'm going more like 2. Or maybe just like an all-day breakfast option.
But how about just a brunchery?
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, the mason jar is kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I just want a brunchery.
Right. I mean, who doesn't like pancakes at like 6 o'clock at night sometimes?
Evil people.
Good carb load and then go
so
to
you
bed.
want an IHOP. That's what you're saying.
Basically I want an IHOP.
You want an IHOP.
I
IHOP.
do.
How about that could be the next ship, IHOP of the Seas.
And the entire, like all restaurant options are like all day breakfast, basically.
It's all day breakfast served by cranky people.
Like steak and eggs. Like who doesn't like that?
Yeah, like the little super thin steaks.
We're on to something, Nate.
IHOP of the Seas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Royal. Copyrighted. All right. So this one I know you're not going to like. This is a new addition.
Okay.
Do you know what you want to take a guess what it is?
I'm sure.
What's your least favorite thing on all Oasis class ships? You talk about it a lot.
Oh, okay. You're putting me on the spot. I feel like I probably talk about it a lot. I'm gonna go with the slides.
Yes. Which one specifically?
Oh, the one in the back that make that like creepy noise.
Yeah, the ultimate abyss.
Yes, like the purple slides.
Yeah.
That is one thing that is annoying if you are sitting and having dinner at Sabor or now Playmakers, because you have that like constant siren noise as people come down the slide. Not a fan. And it takes away from the beautiful view of the ocean.
Yeah, I think so. This is where, so they had that bar up there, and I think that was the opportunity. They could have done the tiki bar outside on the back of the ship.
Yep.
Expanded that, kept your champagne bar. So, when you felt like being bored, you go hang out at the champagne bar. But yeah, they're going to put the ultimate abyss. So again, we really loved the fact on Allure that that was open. The view was awesome.
It really was.
From the top there, because it's so high up. I guess it's one of the biggest ships still.
Yes.
So high up and just unobstructed view. So kind of sad about this one.
I know. I guess that's a long time coming, and I'm happy for families that will take advantage of the abyss. Just not my jam.
Yeah, the abyss is definitely the marketing thing. I mean, it's fun, but it's like a kind of.
I think you did it once, and it was a one and done.
Yeah, it was a one and done.
Yep.
But maybe you're on the top deck and want to get to the boardwalk really quick.
You're like, just forget the elevators.
So the outdoor pool bars are going to become lime and coconuts.
Okay.
No big deal there. That's literally just slapping up some paint some color and stuff and calling it a lime and coconut.
Yep.
And then this, again, I don't know where they're putting it. They could have passed on this. El Loco Fresh.
Oh.
People love El Loco Fresh,
I
but
want to love El Loco Fresh again because I like Mexican food, but I feel like every time I try it, I'm just let down.
well, I mean, because we have, again, I think we've mentioned the fact is that we have a really good Mexican restaurant with people that are from Mexico
Yes.
in our neighborhood, so
Yes.
it's kind of hard to compare.
And everything is just full of flavor and fresh.
Yes.
And I think it's, El Loco Fresh is more like mass market version of Mexican food. So not spicy.
Not spicy. Yep, true. Also, they will be adding a pair of Perfect Storm water slides. So this is one thing that a lot of people didn't know, and I think they get on the ship and they're like, "Oh, there's no water slide."
Right.
So this one I kind of understand they almost have to do because if you're even selling travel, like you just have to really know that fact, and it's completely random because so many royal ships have
Right.
slides on them. Your thoughts on the slides?
Again, just sort of indifferent. I don't go on cruise ships for water parks, but I get it. If you're a family, like that is an important feature and something that I think folks would really be interested in having. And again, because it's a little bit older of a ship, like it's so affordable to sail on Allure and Oasis of the Seas.
Yeah, and the fact that it wasn't amplified, I think, kept the price somewhat down on
Probably.
it. So anyways, so that's about it. Some other changes as well too. I'm not going to go through everything, but Allure of the Seas, if you want to go on Allure of the Seas, the after amplification will be sometime in April. At that point, we'll be doing Mediterranean cruises.
Nice. And is it coming back to Florida?
It's going to come
Nate?
back in November. It will be in Fort Lauderdale, where it will have 6 to 8 day sailings.
Ooh, that's perfect.
Yep. So if you want to go check out, and you can still get some really, I was trying to convince Colleen to do another short cruise. I said, come on, we have to, there's like a weekend cruise, one of the last ones before it heads off. I'm going to work on this. So if you'd like Colleen and I to go back on Allure of the Seas, leave a comment down below. But I would like to go back on one of the last sailings before it gets amplified.
Oh, geez, Nate. I don't know. This is a lot to squeeze in very little time.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. So we are going to move on here. This one is one that has burned us personally for years.
Yes.
And it look, it's not like the worst thing, but it's just been more of a kind of, well, it's kind of an annoyance and it's something we just never understood. And then it always made us feel like, are we really going to get an accessible room? So this is, what I'm talking about here.
Yes, you're talking about Marriott and the DOJ ruling.
Yeah. So if you didn't know this, like when you used to go on Marriott's site, you can't actually search for an accessible. Well, you couldn't search for an accessible room.
Correct. You basically pick your room type. And then once you're like kind of almost like 50% through the reservation process, then they'll tell you if there's an accessible accommodations and what that looks like. But again, you're not necessarily booking a specific accessible room. It was sort of like, if it's available, we'll give it to you. It's like,
it was like a preference. It's like it's not a preference,
right?
It's like I kind of need
yes
an accessible room. Well, I don't need the accessible. You need the accessible.
I need the accessible room, but again, it just gives that like level of security to know, okay, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to get in an airplane. I'm driving a long distance. I want to know when I get to my destination that I've got a room that accommodates my needs.
Yep. And it would just require then extra work on our behalf. We would have to then call the hotel multiple times. So one time after the reservation was made and say, hey, we've noted and we need an accessible room. Do you see that? Yes, we see that. And then we'd have to call like the month before, hey, we have an accessible room. And then like the week before say, hey, we're really coming. Are you going to be able to hold an accessible room for us? And we've never had I will say we've never had a problem.
Correct.
Like we've never not shown up and they're like, oh, we don't have any, but it's just like, what a pain in the neck.
And I would say, I think it lent us to shy away from booking with Marriott because of that, because there was just that like slight uncertainty of, oh goodness, we're having to like rely on people to ensure that we have accommodations. So yeah, we've just leaned towards other chains. And
Yeah.
I am happy that Marriott is now kind of getting forced. I don't know, like a little slap on the hand, but now they're basically being held
Yeah.
to making it available.
So let me just read the story here. This is from Yahoo Finance via Skift. Marriott deal with DOJ signs stricter compliance with accessibility rules. So Marriott, and this was back in June, has agreed to a deal with the U.S. Justice Department to address barriers faced by individuals with disabilities in booking accessible rooms. The deal, quietly reached last week, except for the fact it was spread all over the news, ensured compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. So Marriott denied wrongdoing and admitted to no liability and paid a $50,000 civil penalty. Why the deal matters? Because many other hotel companies of all sizes will follow Marriott's adoption of practice to fit U.S. guidelines. The deal may help end a lack of agreement and legal clarity about ADA guidelines. A little bit of the backstory. So the Department of Justice and the District of Colorado brought this lawsuit. Marriott said that it complied with ADA requirements and noted its franchise and hotels are independently owned and operated. The DOJ had some different views. Said one was that, and this is our contention, one was that Marriott's reservation system often only said if a room was ADA compliant without details, while the DOJ contended that more details on each room were needed to comply with the law. So Marriott said it's going to make several changes to its reservation systems, a few. So first of all, making prominent listing of accessible rooms. Distribution tech changes. So accessible rooms will be available for booking through the largest online travel agencies such as Expedia and Booking.com, which is also something that's a real pain in the neck. So even if you wanted to do like a discounted room website, you couldn't do an accessible room.
Right. I think we did that with another trip of ours to Chicago years ago. And again, that required a lot of follow up with the hotel chain. It wasn't Marriott, but again, just ensuring that when we got to Chicago, we actually had an accessible room. So I think it's going to be, I think overall, if practices change and people do and other chains follow Marriott's lead, I think this is going to be great for everyone.
Yeah. And the last thing is that you'll actually now be able to use Marriott Bonvoy loyalty points to book an accessible room.
Wow. How big of them?
Tell us how you really feel, Holly.
It's just a small step. And I think like the next big thing that I would absolutely love to see is specific rooms, like room numbers with pictures of bathrooms, pictures of bed heights, like dimensions.
Yeah, and this is for all hotels.
This is for every hotel.
Everyone, whether you're a big chain, little chain, bed and breakfast,
Right.
whatever you are.
Right. I just think if we can get to that state, because there are folks that have maybe a stronger, more dominant side to transfer onto the toilet on, may have, same with the bed, having that specific detail laid out and not have to call and search and try to find pictures on the internet. I spend hours doing that, and it just is not right.
Yeah. And, and usually we'll contact, and I'll have to say some hotels have been super great about this. So
Yes.
one that comes to mind is the Fairmont chain in Vancouver.
Yes.
We were thinking about doing our Alaska trip out of Vancouver, and they were super great about going in, doing measurements, taking pictures. But even the hotel staff, like they shouldn't have to do that stuff. Like that stuff should just be online.
Right. Agreed.
So anyways,
I'll get off my soapbox, but if we can make more changes in just the ease of travel, that is the one highlight that I think needs to be done next.
Yes, because people in wheelchairs and people with other disabilities, guess what? They have money and they want to travel.
Yes. Yes.
So stop making it hard. All right. Last one here. We're just stirring the pot today.
I know. The Marriott one just gets me fired up, and hotels in general. But
yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Next topic, Nate.
Next topic. So this is the last one. So this one is really getting people all angry. And I've never really flown this airline that much, so I'm honestly, I'm glad they're doing it, but I know other people aren't. But Southwest Airlines is getting rid of open seating.
I don't know. Again, like we have flown Southwest and we always get the priority boarding because I usually board, I think, like families with young children, people with disabilities, whoever needs a little bit extra time gets on first. But yes, I think Southwest has had that model for decades where it's sort of like boarding groups. And I think those that are probably frustrated now have probably gotten to a point of like a loyalty status where they would automatically get boarded first. And now it's like, wah, wah, doesn't matter.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, well, personally myself, I think I've flown Southwest once or twice without you along, and I would say that the kind of cattle call, as I like to call it,
Right.
it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. So I guess this is from a CNN article. Quote, the research is clear and indicates that 80% of Southwest customers and 86% of potential customers prefer an assigned seat, said the airline in a statement. By moving an assigned seating model, Southwest expects to broaden its appeal and attract more flying from its current and future customers, which is true. That would be something that I would often think about, which is, do I really want to, I don't know, there's like all this voodoo magic, like people that were like Southwest, occultist would be like, okay, you have to get on like 15.3 hours, before your flight, and you have to log into the system and you have to hold your phone or computer just right. And then you might get the first it's like, guys, I don't have time for that.
I know.
I want to live my life. I want to just know what seat I'm sitting in.
I find it funny though that so many people want assigned seats because I've heard so many horror stories too where people have assigned seats, they get on, and then there's that one person that's like, oh, can I switch? I want to do like an aisle. And then all of a sudden it's like Jenga where people are shifting and moving and grabbing different seats, and no one is actually in their assigned seat by the time the flight takes off.
Yeah. So let's read some of these. I love these comments. So these are comments that are below this CNN article. I'm just randomly finding this. So this one says, so for 50 years, Southwest flying the number one complaint from customers was about open seating. After 50 years of completely ignoring the complaint, they now see the light at the end of the cash tunnel. This way they can satisfy all those greedy investors that want profits continually to go up, like an airplane. Senior management will also be able to get huge bonuses based on increased margins and profitabilities. It's all great for everyone except those die-hard customers that have been flying SWA for many years. With the open seating policy, a major convenience factor. Anyone knows that SWA system, this is it. Anyone that knows the SWA systems knows how to get most any seat they want by working within their rules and being early. Like, I don't want, this isn't like a game of Dungeons. It shouldn't be as hard as Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't know anything about, but it seems like a complicated game.
Of all the games to have picked, that one. I'm with you. Like, it just should be really simple. I buy a ticket to go from point A to point B. This is my seat number. This is where I get on and I sit.
Yeah. So this one actually talks about disability. My husband and I love the open seating policy. We're both disabled, so we get on and pick our seats. Why do they change people with A passes more, or others get A pass? Greed. We don't sit next to each other because we tend to sleep on the plane. All right, I don't quite understand that one, but we've never had an issue getting the seating that we've needed with an airline.
No, airlines are fantastic in that area. I mean, we've done bulkhead seating quite often for like more long haul flights, so that I had the ability to like stretch my legs a little bit, adjust. But yeah, wherever we end up wanting to go, we'll get seated. So
all right, just a couple more comments here, because I think it's funny just to see the split on this. I think this is terrible news. I absolutely love Southwest because of the open seating. This is going to make boarding take so much longer and more expensive to get to this. I mean, no, that's nonsense. Sorry, person. You've been on other airlines, you know that Southwest takes forever. Last one here. We stopped flying Southwest because of the open seating. So I think it's great they're changing the policy. I want to know where my seat is. And I have the option to upgrade if I choose. So Colleen, will you be flying Southwest Airlines anytime soon?
Absolutely. If we've got an opportunity to fly Southwest, I've got no issues with that.
Southwest, if you would like to send us on a flight somewhere, we will test out the new seated policy. Just reach out to us.
Absolutely. Heck, maybe we can go back to Nashville again.
Yes. I'd love to go back to Nashville.
Yeah.
As well, too. So anyways, that will do it. And Colleen, anything else for the show today?
I think that's it, Nee. That was a full episode.
That was
here.
A meaty episode. I'm feeling a little heavy. You may have to do a couple laps to work off this episode. So again, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show today, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Also, one of the things that really will help the channel is if you leave a comment down below. What did you like? What didn't you like? Did you agree with us? Did you agree with, like the show? Didn't like the show? Just leave a comment. So I'm going to challenge everyone. We've been getting more people watching this. So whatever platform you're on, just leave a comment. It could even be like hello, but everything helps, right?
I think it's a great idea, Nate. I was just going to say, be kind, people.
We don't get mean comments, but now I'm going to get people putting mean comments down there.
I know. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah. So no, but we would love people to comment. So if we have 174 views, we'd love 174 comments.
I love it. That's a great challenge.
Setting goals. And again, if you are thinking about planning your cruise travel or any type of travel, please reach out to us at cruiseplannersofsouthflorida.com. Cruiseplannersofsouthflorida.com. Just remember, it does not cost you anything extra. And when you book with us, you help the channel, which will help us do more cruising and travel and create more content, which will then, have us probably have more people book with us, which then will do more travel and more content. And pretty soon this will be the biggest YouTube channel on planet Earth. Sound good to you, Colleen?
Sounds amazing, Nate. Let's get there.
So again, thank you for watching. We really do appreciate all of you viewers out there. We hope you have a great, fantastic week. And until next time, we want to remind you to navigate your world.